Welcome everybody to the final episode of New Super Mario Bros. U. I've had a great time with this game. We're in Peach's Castle here. I also edited out a lot of the deaths. I didn't think you wanted to see me die over and over again. See, look, I'm not very good. I jumped right into fire. That's what you don't want to do. You think I would have learned that not jumping into the fire. Generally, it's what you want to do. If you ever talk to a burn doctor, they will advise the same thing. Stay away from the fire. Admittedly, in real life, this isn't as common of an occurrence. Fireballs flying down from the earth. I suppose if you were in that village of Pompeii, Machu Picchu, that region, they had this sort of similar problem that Mario did. But like all those idiots say about video games, the senators about video games, against them, not for video games, against them, they say, oh, there's no second chances in real life. Just how about those people that got burned by that volcano, huh? So they don't want kids to play these games, probably, because that's what the kids will think. They'll take magic mushrooms and they won't worry about consequences of life. And we can't have that, can we? We want kids to be stressed out, worrying about consequences. We want them on pills so that they can cope with the stress that we force them to have. Here's me digging with my ass. Look, I'm getting better at dodging the fire. You might wonder, why are you talking like you're not playing? It's because I'm not playing. I find it easier to just play the game at night while my girlfriend is asleep in the next room, and then I can edit out all the deaths, and then I don't stress about it. I just play and have fun, and then I go through and edit that shit out so that not to make it look like I'm better. I'm very honest. You can tell. Ooh, look at that. That was a close one. Can't touch lava. And then I can just concentrate on talking and regale you with stories of children being burned by volcanoes. As their parents said, there's no second chances! Don't die! Well, for parents there are second chances. They can make more children. Unless the womb or the genitals were burned badly. Because they said, don't touch lava. That's the game. Don't burn your genitals on lava, or you won't be able to have any more kids. Magma River Cruise. What kind of a cruise is this? This is an interesting mechanic. See that number? It goes, you need one, what is it? You need to be above 0 or something to make this work. If there's too many enemies, the thing won't move, is what I'm trying to say. Look at these wonky moving blocks. I really liked this game a lot. I was almost going to say love, and then I didn't. Oh, but I love that guy coming out of the ocean of lava. And why? There's just something about it that isn't Mario 3. Maybe it's because it's a lot older. It's not as... I mean, it still looks pretty nice. I will say that even though this one feels a lot better than the Wii version, the floating is a little bit... It's still floaty. And I think it's because Mario looks funny. He's too big or something. When he's small, it feels good. It looks good. And I think they wanted it to be identical. And when they made him large, it screwed up a bit of the physics. They almost probably should have started with him as a big Mario and made sure that looked and felt really great. And then didn't worry about him being small, because you're rarely small in this game. You're always bigger with one of these suits, or at least a mushroom of some kind, or you'd get a flower and it doesn't just make you big, it makes you big and have the power, which gives you another life. I'm getting so technical here. That's alright. I mean, if you're watching this, you probably play video games, unless you're my mom. Hi Mom, I love you. She watches them and she doesn't play games. I'll tell you this, out of all the games we play in this channel, the one game my mom said, I think I might want to play that. Was it a Mario game? A colorful, simple Mario game? No, she didn't say that one. Colorful Donkey Kong? No, it was not a colorful platforming game at all. Was it something simple? Was it a point-and-click adventure? Come on, what are you, sexist? Do you think women only like point-and-click adventure games? with romance and story. Maybe she likes horror games. No, the one game she thought looked interesting enough for her to attempt playing it was Red Dead Redemption 1. And funnily enough, my little brother had moved back home for a bit, and he had a PlayStation 3 in the basement, so she could play Red Dead Redemption. Mom, if you're listening and you want to play Red Dead Redemption, I will buy it for you. I mean, don't act like I'm generous here. It's a cheap game. It's probably $10 to $12, but I'll buy that for you. And if I was living in the same city, wouldn't that be a great let's play? Matt and his mom play Red Dead Redemption. That'd be really fun. Dan Reichart does a similar thing with his dad. And his dad is like him, but more of a jock, but has a love for some video games. It's an excellent series. I recommend the one where they play the baseball game and he just keeps striking his son out. And when his dad says that he was so embarrassed to admit that he would go home on his lunch break to play a video game. You know, like he's probably embarrassed to admit that at a dinner party or something, but I don't know if he was aware that he was being broadcast on a video game show at the time. These people love that stuff. It's like with alcoholics. They almost never drink alone. They always want to drink with somebody. Even if you barely have enough money to keep yourself alcoholized, you'll go to a bar even though it's much less efficient. I was thinking if I was an alcoholic, I would think, all right, what's the cheapest alcohol I can drink? And how can I make sure I have the most alcohol in me at all times? And it would be buying a lot of probably cans or maybe a higher percentage beer and drinking at home. But no, they go to the bar because they like the social aspect. People, they want to share in the addiction. And I notice a lot of times with addiction, this isn't really a really fun conversation, but people like to point out who's worse than them. They'll go, well, yeah, but I mean, get a load of this guy over here. They're the ones that are really bad. Can you believe that? I was talking to this one guy, and he was doing heroin. Heroin's pretty bad. A lot of people say it's one of the worst. Although, funnily enough, the synthetic heroin that the government gives you is worse than actual heroin. But it is physically addictive, and it's a very hard thing to stop doing because your body actually, not just your mind craves it, your body wants it, and it will physically be compelled to have it. And it's not like it'll control you and turn you into a zombie from some cheesy movie where you'll go and get it, but in a way, you are. You've seen Train Spotting. You've seen what happens. Your body goes through withdrawal without it. Hey, we beat a level in Mario. But this person that was doing the heroin, they said, oh my, you should see these other guys. These guys, they're doing 4 times as much as me. That would kill me if I did it. Not seeing the irony that the amount of heroin they were doing every day is slowly killing them. But hey, you have too much sugar in a day, that's slowly killing you too, right? Am I right? Especially if you inject it into your veins. Sugar's a really... this is a really fun gaming podcast, hey? But sugar is just... It's very poisonous, and it's funny because it's probably worse for you than many other illegal drugs. And make no mistake, sugar is a drug. Caffeine is a drug. It's the world's most popular drug, or maybe that's nicotine. But it's a drug too. So try to stay away from drugs. Are video games a drug? No, they're a stimulation. But I mean, so's getting a massage. And I think out of all the vices, here I go sounding like the person saying, well, yeah, but look at this person over here. I may play video games, but they're doing heroin. Is that at least it's good for some parts of your brain. I don't think spending 20 hours a day playing video games, or even 8 hours a day playing video games, is good for other aspects of you. But then again, is working like at a Shoppers Drug Mart cash register. I don't know if you guys have that in America. In Canada, we have them, and there are these really... It's just a cheap drugstore that is everywhere and has horrible lighting. And they sell groceries and cough medicine and stuff for the season so that people think they can go do all their yearly shopping there. But is working there 8 hours a day terrible for you? I don't think it's good for you. I don't think that lighting is good for you. I don't think that air in there is good for you. Boy, isn't this game fun. No, that's bad for you too. So there I go. Now I'm like the heroin guy saying, we'll get a load of them. At least I'm not at Shoppers Drug Mart 8 hours a day. What is good for you then? Exercise and being social. As much as I like being social sometimes and then I get a bit sick of it, it is good for you. And I'll tell you something about being social. When I was working on a cruise ship, and that was a great job, I'll tell you, if you're a musician. Oh my God, is that ever a great job. You work 5 hours a night, you get to play music, and you get free food, and you don't have to buy groceries or any of that nonsense of life. But when I was on there, I saw a lot of people. And the people that were genuinely the happiest were these ones that would travel in big groups. And maybe it's just less social people get that. Maybe if I or someone who wasn't social traveled in a big group all the time, maybe they'd be miserable, right? But they definitely seem to be having the most fun, is the people that had a large social group and were close to them and traveled with them yearly or a couple times a year, and they're having a lot of fun. And maybe it's because, look how scared I am because I'm small. I don't want to die at this point. I was so embarrassed when I was doing that. I thought, come on, man, jump off this guy and get to the top. But yeah, they seem to be the most happy. So, being social. And I'll tell you another thing about being social, even though I'm not the most social guy, is that they had done a study on happiness, 20-year study. And they said, out of everything we learned, we can't possibly explain all of it to you now. This is the final level, by the way. And I had died about 3 or 4 times because I had 1 life left. So I said, okay, it's time for the pea suit. I'm just going to cheese my way through this level and the final boss. And they said, in a nutshell, just be social was the key to happiness. And I can see that. I mean, have you ever felt like your problems are weighing you down and they're insurmountable and you're frustrated, and then you tell somebody about them and you feel a bit stupid, like, oh, that really wasn't that much of a problem at all. I was just being a little whiner. When you say it out loud, it's not that bad. You don't even really need the person to say anything. You tell them your problem, and halfway through saying it, you've already discovered the answer, and they try to give you advice and say, shut up, I got the answer myself, shut up. You don't know. Thanks for listening. And then hopefully you listen to them and you help them out. So it's more like having a sounding board. I find the same thing with showing somebody a creative project, same working on a song, or I'll come up with really dumb jokes. And you show them to somebody, and it's a really quick way of knowing what works and what doesn't, because it's, even though art should be made from your heart and have no compromises, eventually it needs to affect somebody. And I don't think it needs to affect a lot of people or the mainstream. At least that's not what I want, because I don't feel like I resonate a lot with what people in the mainstream are into. And that's fine. It doesn't make me better or them any better. People are just different. I just happen to be in the minority. So yeah, I can relate to oppressed minorities being a white guy, because some of the comedians I like, people don't like, and some of the music I like, people hate. I'd say a lot of the things I like, a lot of people hate. But maybe that's what community's all about, and these YouTube channels, and it's like a music festival or a comedy festival. You're going and you're around these people, where you could go to like a metal festival over in Europe and you think that this is, you surround yourself with that, and that you think this is the most popular music in the world, or whatever festival you're into. It's kind of like with Google. If I type in Justin Bieber is amazing, I could surround myself with that. Or if I tweeted that and only looked for that. But if I typed in Justin Bieber is terrible, I could also read things about that. But, I mean, I always feel terrible when I write in Justin Bieber is terrible and Google that and try to find something. Generally, I find when you Google somebody sucks, you just find an article they wrote saying that something sucks. It's not about people saying that they suck. I always feel, I'm glad I don't find it, because I just want to find somebody to agree with me, right? You want to find that echo chamber. The final battle. And I have my pea suit. Look at the chin on Bowser. I don't really like his chin, but I think that's good. You don't want to like what he has. You should hate it. This is me trying to figure out what to do. Oh, do I put my ass onto one of his horns? No. The answer was not have his horn go up your ass. The answer is to use his son's toy against him. This is the equivalent of a parent stepping on their child's piece of Lego. That's what that is. He says, "God damn it, I told you not to bring that thing out of the house." We're fighting along the wall. Bowser's like Trump, and he built himself a big wall to keep all the mushroom people out. He calls them fungus heads. He calls them mushies. If you've played Mario, what is it? Super Mario Brothers 3. That's where that little card is from. Am I right, or is that Super Mario World? No, that's Super Mario World. He's in that thing. In Mario 3, he just jumps. And he just tries to land on your ass. That's what it is. Yeah, in Mario World, he goes in that thing and he throws out the little Bowsers that are kind of like shoes, and you chuck them up. I don't know why they look like shoes. They have feet. I mean, I have feet. I don't look like shoes. What was I saying about heroin? Just enough. The perfect pace. Full speed, you can outrun him. No, not outrun him. You can keep pace with him. It's exciting. I like that crazy organ. It makes him sound like Inagata Devita. There's that 4-pack of the chin he's got. I don't think I've ever seen Bowser so large before. It's very effective. They don't explain in this game why he got large, but to be fair, I always... Oh, I love that he can affect the bombs too. He smacked them out of the sky. This is the death blow. Look at him. He doesn't even do anything. He just watches me as I land on him. Oh, he doesn't have too many teeth, does he? For a dragon. Be easy to... Well, he wouldn't have to floss. I like that. Look at the little kid. Now what? Is the kid going to step up? I can't even remember. I played this last night and I don't remember it. You killed my father. Good plan, kid. Time to go get my lady. Oh, he's going to say princess. He'll say, alright, what do you think? Should we kiss? Just say, ew, you're all gross. Go have a shower. A lot of stained glass there. Is that must be a religious reference. So the great purple coil disappeared. The water was clear, blue and deep. The grass was green. And Bowser's kids... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bowser, the single father, raising a family of 8, all by himself, who are trying to leave him. Come on, wait for Daddy. He wants a woman to help him raise these kids, and he thought Peach would be the perfect candidate. Now what? Oh. Nintendo walks the line of childish and charming, and that might be a little bit childish. And you might say, well, video games are childish. You probably wouldn't if you're watching this. If you're seeking out video games on the internet, you are probably not going to think that. Now there's a dance number. Nintendo's gone Bollywood. I didn't realize for about like a minute or two into this that you could walk around and collect all those coins. Because Nintendo's all about coins and collecting and having fun. So you can go back. There's a secret world that you can unlock only if you've gone and gotten all of the special star coins in every level. So if you get star coins in every level on a world, then you can unlock that world's special area. A fantastic game. Closing thoughts? Don't mind if I do. This was a very purely fun Mario. It had a nice... it was a nice length. I don't think every Mario needs to be 120 stars worth. Although it is impressive that Nintendo managed to have enough ideas in Mario Galaxy to have 2 Mario Galaxy games that must have something like close to 100 star shines or whatever the hell they're called now. There's a lot of retreading, there's a lot of remixing of old ideas, but there are enough new ideas and new stages and just pure platforming fun and ingenuity that this game is definitely worth playing. I would say it's an above average game. A very highly above average game. If you're a fan of platforming or a fan of Mario games, I think you should really go for this. You should give this a chance. If you hated the Nintendo Wii version of New Super Mario Bros. Like I did, this is a lot better. It feels a lot better, less floaty, and looks a lot better. That was the problem with the Wii. Is I cannot believe they didn't go HD on that thing. Nobody could believe it. A lot of people didn't care. But good God, are those games ugly to go back to. Oh my God, they're so disgusting. I wonder if when 4K becomes the norm, if we'll look at 1080 or 720 and we'll think that that's gross. I mean, 720 you can still, on a big enough screen, you can still tell that it's not super sharp. So, I did read on Reddit, somebody had said, I spent a lot of money to discover that I cannot tell the difference between 4K and 1080. I feel like that's how I would be. I'm more concerned about visual design and performance. You want the thing to run smoothly is more important than having ultimate resolution. But anyways, this is a fantastic platformer. Thanks everybody for sticking around and watching it. If you want to leave any requests for different games to do, whether it's on the Wii U or the PS4 or older systems, I love playing older retro games. Got a big collection of those. I'd love to play them, so leave some comments with some games you want to see. And until then, bye for now.